going back to the credit for the management, like we say, Meeney's done brilliant. Not with just the first team. He's working overtime for the 23s, the 18s, and everything else, isn't he? And it just, I don't really think he's been given the credit that he deserves. In obviously his decision, obviously he was to go. Obviously, was made up a little while ago. So Malk said, but he's been put in a position where it was quite an easy decision to make. And it's a shame. Like I don't think they have got the credit they've deserved. I think they've done absolutely phenomenal, Gary and John, the star, with the progression of the team, and it's really close to getting to the playoffs this year. It was a fabulous season, really, with the tight-ish budget. What you say?
That was an amazing season,
and the development of literally the same core of players from the previous season, and bringing on in the younger ones as well. So the fabulous efforts, absolutely brilliant, and we can't thank them enough, really.
But that's it, exactly, Ben.
It's just sad to end on a downer, I mean, okay.
It is, because we should be talking about what a great season it was. We didn't go up, but we gave it a good shot.
What a great segue, John. Let's review the season. Play the jingle, Chris.
No jingles. I've got no jingles today. Sorry, chap.
No jingle.
Jingle. I mean, Malk, you're more of a devil's advocate than the rest of us. I mean, you understand these things. Do you feel that it was a good season? Do you think that it should have, from what we had and from what the budget we had, do you feel that this is basically what we should have done? Do you think we've achieved slightly more, or maybe underachieved?
I think we don't. It's been a great season. I think go on record as saying at the beginning of the season, if we finish halfway, because there's a lot of teams in this league that have been here a long time, and they know how to play the league, and to go to them sort of places on a Tuesday night or them come to us on a Tuesday night, they're clever, they're experienced at this level. So yeah, it's been a great year for Hastings really to finish as high as they have done.
And obviously Craig as well. Craig had a cracking season.
Yeah.
Well done him.
He's been of the season, I think.
It's but geographically as well. Hastings have got to attract. To attract the players, they've got to pay the money, at the end of the day. And that's just a problem geographically.
Yeah, it's always been a problem as well. It won't go away either. That's how it is. It's where we are.
A lot of these clubs, are closer to London. They can attract the London boys, and
nobody wants to drive
it's a bigger area. So
I think what does attract them, because we've had some good players from outer areas and from London come down, it's the fan base as well. If you're going to Averley and you're playing in front of a couple of hundred people, and you had the choice of going to Hastings, and the great atmosphere we get not only at home but the amount of travelling supporters, I think that sits for decision as well. And reasons like why Joe Jabode was involved in making the choice to come down to Hastings when he could have been elsewhere, out on loan, and so we've got a lot of pulling power down here, and I don't think we get that. And if the club works out how to manage the off-field stuff, then there's fantastic potential for these crowds to increase. We're already top of in this area for our crowd attendances. I know because of the Tuesday games we just missed out on topping that table in our league, but there's so much potential here. And
don't be disillusioned, John. A bigger pay packet is always a bigger draw than
I was going to
a bigger fan base. And there's been quite a few players that we tried to get hold of, or certainly pre-season and that have gone elsewhere for a bigger budget. A bigger pay packet than a bigger fan base. So,
but remember as well, the bigger crowds we are getting through the gate as well, and it's just got to look at how else that money can be raised, and don't know how it's been funded. We don't know why we haven't had the money to do this or that. But that's part of the lack of transparency, I think, as well. You don't know how much people have put in. We seem to know how much they've taken out. Did I mention 200,000 at all before?
No.
Was that fourth time? No, it's not.
No, it's fourth time.
But what I wanted to say about what was before about wherever you go and see the under-18s, and there's Meeney there. You go and see the under-23s. He's there again. You know,
not anymore.
Hard work. Think about it, and it's all the the hours spent that you don't know about, and it's all about. I think half of it is man management as well, isn't it? Having awkward conversations or knowing which players you've got to really G up and other players you've just got to encourage in a different way. And I think as a team, they've got that, and they've got the respect of their players, and they've moved people on when they haven't been up to whatever they want, or not playing for the team, not playing for the system. So it is a real shame to lose them. Real sad day for the club, I think, if we're thinking about how we progress forward.
So do we think we're going to struggle to get a manager that's similar class? Because they're all going to be in the same boat, aren't they? Same budget, same problems.
It depends, though, doesn't it, John? It could be, okay, they see that budget, but they don't know about all the arseache and all the other bits and pieces that have gone on before. Although I'm sure as Malcolm said, that actually, thinking about it, it's a small community. I'm sure people talk.
But of course they do. Yeah.
I'll take that back. I'll take that back, actually. But there's some people that they need work, don't they?
Yeah.
They're in for a job. Why wouldn't you come to Hastings? Big old ground, great fan base.
Well, I hope we get somebody decent, because we are going to struggle next year, because that league's looking tougher next year than it was this year. Some of the clubs that are in that league. So they don't look good. We'll see. And I pity George, because he's got to find new tunes for everyone.
Yeah. Why don't we move on to some moments of the season?
Let's do
I've got to turn this around because I'm fucking miserable. What? Sorry?
Didn't you get your money back on the T-shirts, do you think?
Didn't get any money back on the Danny Parish ones.
No, I've got a Super Gary Elphick one, and I was just wondering whether...
Just put, we had Super Gary Elphick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can answer.
Yeah.
No, it's a shame. Well, I'll tell you what, for Gary, you cannot take that promotion away.
No, top man. Twice promoted at that league.
Yeah.
Giving high in demand.
Wonderful moments. I mean, even this season, just off the top of my head, obviously Bishop Stortford, the joy that in the bench when we got that winner. Super Popey got that lovely goal. That wasn't a cross. That was he definitely meant to shoot that. And, the joy.
Sammy Adams' goal before that, the technique involved with that.
Same game,
And
Joe's
just
goal.
across the season.
Go on, mate, go on.
Just across the season, where you look at teams that we expected to be high up at the end of the season and were being, found it really tough against us. 4 points off of Lewis, 4 points off of Folkestone. Obviously, Margate was shit. Got 4 points off of them, but.
Mate. Terry, be on you, Mal.
Well,
Terry will tell you that Margate were shit this season. Their team represented the state of their ground. That ground is falling apart. So hopefully Mark build a house on that one. But all those.
They're in the Kent Senior Cup final tonight.
Yeah.
They'll be in the Kent Senior League soon. But no, honestly, like the performances against teams that are experienced at that level and higher, and the performances Billericay had to put in to get results out of us, and really there's probably only, I would say, maybe 3 real proper off days over a 50-game season. Is quite some achievement for someone who's got to organise a bunch of fantastic, semi-pros, and to get for them to turn up and play well, pretty much every week is a testament to them all, really. And the rest of the staff,
Ben, any moments of the season for you, mate?
Plenty of very good trips. Obviously, Bishop Stortford's the one that stands out for us. unbelievable how any team can turn around from 17 minutes to go. But the fact that they never stopped trying. Even, I say, when I go back to that game, I always think we shouldn't have been 2-0 down in the first place. I thought we competed very well against, obviously, the champions of the league in the end. So and then to go and do that, wild celebrations. And then you can see by the videos, everybody's seen the TikTok videos, YouTube videos, or whatever videos you want to see, the togetherness between the group of players and the fans, and that's what hurts so much. Like when you get decisions, things that happen like today, that you look back on those good times, and yeah, I mean, obviously trips to Lewis and that was good. Obviously, we're taking 600-700 over there, and that's a proper day out. Even like the smaller ones, like Bowers' last game of the season, we had an absolute top day, didn't we? And
yeah,
Chris can't remember.
Can't remember it either.
Obviously,
I hugged everyone, mate. I hugged everyone. I felt my inner Wareham come out.
I'm still waiting for him to eat. But that's what I mean. Even the small ones like Margate on a Tuesday night, and they've given us such a great couple of seasons, haven't they?
Yeah.
I've enjoyed every single moment of it. It's been quite new for me, really. The last sort of season, particularly the last season and a half, I've seen a lot more. But compared to you boys, you've seen a lot more than what I have. But I've enjoyed so many days out, so many, even just a sociable drink with the players after the games in the bar, and having a chat with them. And it's something obviously I'll see a lot of Premier League football, but I don't get that with my club. But I love that side of things. We're doing it with Hastings, and we've there's been a decent bond there between everybody, and it just feels like it's been taken away today,
Yeah.
But what's in my mind is, what was the away game? It was only a few games ago where Meeney and did that dance for us fans. Do you remember?
Yeah,
and
I
I
do.
just did it on camera.
He danced for you.
Pardon?
I think it was one I missed, actually. Was it something like Brighton Sea Region?
Yeah, it might have been. I
I
can't.
great
wasn't
clip,
there,
by the
but
way.
I saw the
Great
video.
clip.
of it.
Which one?
Brighton and Sea Regent was an absolute great trip.
Did I
What
go
a
that
top-
one?
Probably not. That's why it was a good trip. Yeah. No, it was really good.
Ginger.
It was such a good trip. And I was gutted they went down, actually. I was looking forward to going back the next season. It's probably the nicest set of home fans and people in the town you're likely to meet.
Flags out as we were walking along.
Yeah, all down the road up towards their ground. They got Brighton Sea Regent flags out of people's windows.
Yeah.
It felt like, obviously, it was a cup final because Hastings were in town. But top people up there.
There's another one was 2-0 down as well, wasn't it? 2-0 down and 1-3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah. Second half team, Chris.
Oh, I don't know the amount of times I've heard that. Jeez. So, Malc, any games, particular moments that have stuck out for you, mate? Let's try and end this on a smile.
Really.
Don't say about eating my programme.
No, not really. The whole season has been a good season. I think the one I remember is going to Folkestone very early on. Was it third game of the season? And like I say, when I first said at the beginning of the season, there's a lot of clubs in here that have been there a long time, and I think to come away with 0-0, wasn't it? I thought we should have won that game, and see, Neil Cubley kicking advertising boards and that, in frustration. And I actually thought we can live with these teams that I've been on about. When we went up, that we'd struggle against teams like that, and I actually thought we can live with these and do well this season. So, and the whole season really, there's no really standout. It's been a few downers, when you've gone to grounds and thought, well, we could do well here. We need to do well, and we should do well. Carl Shorten was one of them, where 11 players didn't turn up, but there's football. And it's every game has been a high, really. So, and I just look at it as an overall season rather than individual games. But yeah.
Who else is John Gale?
No, I don't go to away games. Just can't get to them. But all the home games I've been to, I've seen more this year than I've done for years, and I've enjoyed every single one, even the ones we've lost, I'm afraid. Just love the atmosphere. That's all down to you guys behind the goal. I don't stand there so much myself now, but it does, the atmosphere's there, and you're the 12th man. End of the story, isn't it? So, yeah, no, I've loved it. I mean, just spent more time wandering around the ground, standing in different places, getting to speak to fans I didn't even know who existed. I've enjoyed it this year. Yeah, the whole thing.
Brilliant.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
It is. It is what it's all about.
And I think we've got to look at the positives as best as we can at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would have been a very different podcast today if this this announcement hadn't come along. So apologies from me. Just quickly talking about highlights. You just mentioned that about walking around the ground. The one thing I absolutely adore about coming to this ground is that it's a family, and you know, sometimes you don't like all your family, I must say. But you get on with them. You find a way. You find a way to get on with them, and it's an absolute joy coming to the ground. I mean, you know, I've got to shout out Nick, Joe, you know, Ray, Rob, even Mr. Kev Towner, who brought around last week. I don't know if I mentioned that.
There's so many, mate.
Sir Keith Wareham,
Howie, shout out, mate.
Matty,
a shootout for Howie. You know, Matty, Disney Matt,
and to be fair as well, right? All the teenagers and kids who come behind the goal and absolutely love it. It's all massively part of it. They make loads of noise.
They do,
and they are the future of the support of the club. And the fact they're coming behind the goal and enjoying it and having a good time, clearly telling their mates. A few of them have said to me, "I put it on my Snapchat story, and now my mates want to come and turn up."
Yeah, and generally they're really well behaved as well. We haven't seen any.
They are. We got a good group. We've got a good culture for younger fans behind our goal as well, which some other clubs don't have. We certainly do, and it's something to be proud of what we've got.
Yeah,
and they come behind there and sing as well. Like it's like more people getting involved with the singing as well. What's the couple that come on the away games together?
The Miller.
They've always got 2 pints in around each. You know, the ones. I mean, I can't remember their names, but they go all the time, and they're well involved with the singing and all that as well now. And I say like even the young ones as well. Obviously, they get involved. It's just a bigger atmosphere, isn't it? Whoever wants to get involved, it makes it better for everyone.
Yeah.
Do you remember, Ben and Chris? Do you remember when we got on the coach and were surprised to see that Harold ship? Was that
Haringey?
Haringey. Oh my God!
Side to side, and then Chris had that back up in concert, and we had to get Harold Shipman to stop.
Yeah, I was about to urinate on Vernon. Vernon remembers that.
We've all
urinated on Vernon. Go on, what? Sorry.
In a way, it's a good job you didn't try and go for a piss on that coach, because with the amount of whiplash we had on that journey, you got no chance. Your heads are going everywhere. You got no chance in trying to keep a straight piss. Let's be honest.
Have a quick shout out for Andy as well, Andy Q. Up in the PA. I know he said it a few times during the season, but he's made that better, hasn't he? That's improved a lot.
Obviously, Smithy on the Twitter. Who else we shout out?
Rob French running the coach.
French,
bloody difficult circumstances. We spoke a few weeks ago about what can we do, what would make more people go to more games, and particularly away games. And it is cost. It's hitting a lot of people for going to games home and away. And what Rob has put on this season and got more people to games than we would have had is brilliant. And I think as a club, as a fan base, as a supporters club, we need to look at how we can support Rob in doing that next season to get people away, because it's basically a public service he's been running sort of brilliantly, really, and it is a difficult job.
Yeah, well done, Rob.
And even not getting the coaches, at least there's been games where we've just at least managed to get a minibus. At least it's something to get there. Obviously, a lot of us go by train to a few of them as well. But if you're not getting the coach, you're still getting the numbers to fill a minibus. It's a credit to obviously Rob, and for doing it under his own back in a way, really, isn't it? He's just shout out to the Westbrooks as well. They go a lot, don't they? So they're good lads, isn't it? They started singing a lot more as well.
Talking of singing, Gina, Shannon, big shout out to them. The Histeds, wonderful.
I'm looking forward to the culture clash when Hastings United and our minibus rock up to Dulwich Hamlet away. There's a documentary in there somewhere, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to going there and taking 3 points, because we will. That's one we're going to win.
And on a positive note, I mean, there's a lot of excitement. If we know we're on a reduced budget, not got the same players that have done so well in this league, but we've got a lot of local lads and a lot of academy people that have worked their way up, and every game will be exciting if we're fighting for points that are going to maybe keep us up at the end of the season. It's going to be an interesting season. I think. Like a positive note from it.
I'll change it to a negative slightly. My biggest worry is obviously the influence of the Meeney and Gary that we could lose a few, and yeah, we obviously want to try and keep the core of what we've got now, but it's going to be hard, I think, because they're big influence people around the club, and they're a lot of them they're why they are there, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that's my worry is we could lose a few, but
talking of losing a few. What's Craig up to? Malcolm? You can tell me.
I've been waiting for an hour for that one.
I know.
I still don't know, mate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if I get on BN Sports in about 20 minutes, you'll be on talking about
it. Do we say goodbye to you now, Malk?
Yeah, do we say goodbye? I say goodbye to love.
I hope not.
Personally, I hope not.
Yeah,
because I've enjoyed
it's
a
always
couple
nice
of
to meet.
seasons he's been down there, and not only that, you do a paper program, and Marley loves the program. He said he can't go to a club that does digital ones. He's starved to death.
On the internet.
You snuck it in, didn't you?
You
snuck it in, you bastard.
And he loves a beer to wash it down with.
Yeah. Unbelievable stuff.
He avoids a question like a pro, doesn't he, old Matt?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Have you considered a role on the board?
Put it this way, he's under contract for another year, so he can't really go anywhere. But I don't know. Football's a funny world, especially at this level.
Tell him to get his manager's hat on.
I was just about to say about the manager's job.
Do we just get centre backs and then they just turn into managers? That's what's going to happen, isn't it? So
that's what's going to happen. That's it.
Bin O'Mara, 2024-2025 manager. That's the system, isn't it?
Oh, why not?
Breffo. What about Breffo?
Nah, he's gone, isn't he?
He's gone, isn't he?
He'll be gone.
He's gone.
Come on, Malk. Speak up. Come on.
I think everyone knows he's gone, isn't he? Is he gone?
I think it would probably depend on who comes in, wouldn't it? And
yeah. Well,
one more shout out, Kenny Pogue. Forget he got promoted, didn't he, with Lid?
Oh yeah, it was superb stuff.
So we won't forget him either. He made a good manager too.
Is he being joined by Sammy Adams, Malk?
No.
What,
Lid?
Yeah.
No, not as far as I know.
No, I don't think so.
I thought I had a strong rumour that he was going to Lid.
No.
Okay.
I haven't heard that one. I don't deal with Sammy. He's too old. He won't make me any money, mate.
Yeah, you missed that boat.
Yeah. Missed that one a long time ago.
Yeah. Sorry,
Tim Reeves.
Yeah, I did mention Tim.
The coaches. Did you have mentioned Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't forget the old stain boy Charlie.
Charlie.
He's always got the stains on his t-shirt, hasn't he?
I thought that's who you meant.
Everywhere he goes.
When you said bloke with 2 pints, I thought that was it, Charlie Smith. Smith.
it would have to be Foster's though. He don't drink nothing else.
Yeah. Well, if he drinks too much, what happens?
He doesn't fall over that easily.
To be honest, he fell on the train, didn't he, coming back from Bowden? Also, don't forget the Millards. They're everywhere.
100%. Such loyal fans. They're all the time.
There's too many.
There's so many. We've got such a good fan base all around the ground. And we're one of those clubs, actually, when we're away from home, our fan base like to be around different parts of the ground, which is, fair enough. If we don't score away, sometimes don't realise how many we've actually got around the ground. So when the penalty miss at Horsham, when they missed their last minute penalty, you realise how many Hastings were actually around that ground and how many hundreds we took. All over the place we are. So looking forward to more of that next season, whatever happens.
And Ollie designed that flag, and I think it made a good statement, because
tried to hide it, didn't I, John?
Pardon?
I tried to hide it, didn't I? Didn't I, you nutcase? Go on, carry on. Fucking queuing on, bloody nutcase.
And importantly on that is the fact that no matter what else was going on at the club behind the scenes, we stuck with what we was going to do with regards to backing the team throughout 90 minutes, where at times where we've been angered about one or two things, but we didn't want to do it at the games, and it was important that the team's got the full support from us, and we did that, and I think, and like so I was going to actually ask Malc about that, has anything that as fans done affected events like what's happened today?
No, not at all. No, it's nothing to do with the fans. In fact, the opposite, if anything. As we said earlier, the fan base at Hastings compared to anyone else at this level and higher, it's great. And you have the odd one or two, and every fan asks questions, and and you get that wherever you go. So no, it's not.
That's good to know.
I was just thinking where, Bishop Stortford and many other places, where do the players run to celebrate their goals? That's a real sense of unity there, not only with the players on the pitch, but with Gary and Meeney as well. It's been great to be part of, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as fans, whoever comes in, we obviously want to kind of follow that ship really, and be on board with that again, really, because I think as fans, there's nothing better than having a manager that appreciates the fans, and the players appreciate the fans, and have that connection. Like, I'm obviously lucky now that I waited a long time with having it with Arsenal, but I've also got it with Hastings, and moving forward, however way the club does move forward, with regards to whatever happens behind the scenes, with regards to the new manager coming in, you want to keep that going, really, because we've got that unity, togetherness between the management that we've had now. We want to keep going now, really, to be honest.
And thank you, Chris, all season. Now you can have a break. Don't say it's the last one.
No, it's not the last one.
But have a break.
Last one.
You need a break.
I do need a break. A big shout to everyone that's appeared on this, all the different guests, lots of lovely fans that have come on from other clubs. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to have all of you chaps on, and it's a pleasure with all my dealings with the fan base, because you know what I'm like, I start hugging everyone. So
I've never had a hug.
So if you're still here in the pre-season, I'll give you a big hug.
I'll still be here. Yeah. I'll still be here, mate.
Good.
We hope so, Mel.
When a goal goes in, if you're within 100 metres, you're in very much in danger of a hug from Chris. He just goes for a long wander.
But it's not a very good hug because he doesn't have any arms. So his arms have never been photographed. So yeah, it doesn't have any.
Scott White definitely won't get that snap.
Right. Look, you're going into John Will's conspiracy theories here. I'm not going there about Scott White and his agenda against me.
No. At least we're finishing on a high and a bit of a laugh and a joke after a bad day, really.
Actually, Chris, I've got to spill the beans. It was Scott White that asked me to hold that flag up in front of you.
That's fine. I'm unlike Ben Bennett, who has to be in every picture.
Why do you always have to bring this up?
Even in Gary Elphick's Resignation, there he is, his big face right there.
It's like Forrest Gump.
I bet he's in that picture behind his head, isn't he?
He done it deliberately, though, Chris. That was his farewell.
Yeah, I could just see my arm, though. Did you see it? You see my arm, but yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. Right, chaps. Windy, John Wills, George, Malcolm, and Photobomb Bennett. See you next season. Let's see how it goes, but see you next season. And love to
Chris, well done.
See you in the summer.
Have a great summer.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Gary. Cheers, John Meeney.
See you later.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. John.
Cheers, guys.